4 months ago, a terrible accident on Airport Road in Union County killed this 19-year-old girl. No one was drinking, no one was speeding, just one of those terrible accidents.
Someone wasn't paying attention, Paul. They started a chain reaction wreck. Car crashes are the #1 killer of teenagers. But what is it like to be the parent of a teenager to be told, "We're sorry, your daughter didn't make it"? If you've never heard those words, you can't imagine. Tanisha Johnson heard those words. This is Tanisha's story. She wants you to hear it.
Station 19, respond with Med 56, Med 62, reference 1050 PI at Weddington Road and Airport Road.
June 29th, 2011, middle of the day, Tanisha Johnson hears sirens a mile from her home. It is an ugly accident. The person in the passenger seat doesn't stand a chance. It is the news of the afternoon. The crash happened just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. Tanisha and her parents had followed the sirens. She was a little worried because she hadn't been able to get a hold of her 19-year-old daughter, Santasia.
We saw them actually put the body bag in the ambulance, and I didn't think it was Santasia because it looked so long. And I said, well, she's a very short person, so I don't think it's her.
But then troopers started talking, and Tanisha's attitude changed.
I saw all three approaching us. I knew it was bad news.
What comes next is something you never see on TV. A raw, real-life moment caught by chance on tape. Tanisha says she wants you to see this. This is the moment life changed forever.
Do you have a daughter named Santasia Johnson?
Right.
I'm sorry, sir. She was killed.
Oh my God!
I don't know what I would give if just to have her here again.
Glory to your name. Glory to your name.
I was in tears. My mom, she began praying for strength.
Hallelujah! Glory, God, I give you. Hallelujah!
I will never forget how those troopers approached us on that day.
Between 2009 and 2010, troopers had to break this news 121 times to the parent of a teenager.
If more people had to do that as often as we've had to do it, they take a different perspective on driving.
I never saw it coming. I didn't see it coming that clear.
And who would see it coming? Santasia was just on her way to the store. But suddenly, friends are giving eulogies.
My heart is heavy. My heart is heavy.
And there's a balloon release.
I want people to know that, yes, it can change, life can change, or your life can change in an instant.
And with those instant changes also come things which remain untouched, like Santasia's basketball shoes in the closet, or her car here in the driveway. And what really is a mother to do about the annual holiday family picture?
It's no longer 3, but 2. That's difficult.
Do not be mistaken. Tanisha is a very strong woman. She gets help from friends, she says, God, and Santasia herself. How often do you guys talk?
Just about every day.
What's she saying to you now?
It's okay, Mommy. It's okay.
Tanisha hopes the next time you get behind the wheel to drive anywhere, you'll think about this video. Remember, a car can be a weapon, and in one split second, Tanisha says that weapon can change a life forever.
Through no fault of her own.
And through no fault of her own. And Paul, just to be very clear on how we got this video, our producer, Brian Stevenson, was traveling with Highway Patrol that day, working on a separate story when this accident happened. Tanisha showed up at the scene. Troopers did not know she would be there. But Tanisha really hopes by showing that video tonight, we will all keep it in mind every time we drive.
I think every parent out there, the heart just goes flat a little.
I've seen that video a lot, and my heart is still beating wildly right now.
Thank you, Molly. This memorial was put up yesterday for Santasia Johnson. The sign posted just hours before our story about her aired last night at 11. 19-year-old Santasia died in a very bad accident 4 months ago. Molly, you had a very powerful video of the wreck and story, and Santasia's mother was notified of her death on this videotape.
She was, Paul. We've been working with Santasia's mother and North Carolina Highway Patrol for months on this story, and tonight we take a closer look at what law enforcement goes through every time they arrive at a deadly accident.
Weddington Road and Airport Road, 1050 PI.
This is what state troopers came across the afternoon of June 29, 2011. First responders, paramedics, law enforcement, all responding to the intersection of Highway 84 and Airport Road in Monroe. Santasia Johnson was in the passenger seat. She died instantly. But no matter the accident, no matter which one they respond to, when troopers first arrive, they never know who is in the car.
There was another young man that was transported to the hospital. We don't have his name yet.
Finding family members is the first step. Telling family members is the second. In this case, Santasia Johnson's mother and grandparents had arrived on scene. Trooper Randy Langford said once they realized her family was there, he knew he had to give the news. He was direct.
How you doing, sir? Trooper Langford.
Hey, Johnson.
Johnson?
Yeah.
Do you have a daughter named Santasia Johnson?
Right.
I'm sorry, sir. She was killed.
Oh my God!
If more people had to do that as often as we've had to do it, they take a different perspective on driving. You know, accidents are going to happen, but sometimes we're too complacent when we're driving.
Many accidents, Langford says, could be avoided if people, you and me, paid more attention when driving. Speeding or drinking isn't always to blame. Sometimes it's simple carelessness.
And we got to remember that we have other people's lives in our hands when we're driving, not just our own.
As this particular investigation continues, another trooper, Brian Kirkpatrick, heads to the hospital to check on those who survived.
We're going to go up here and see if we can't gather more information, maybe get some more information on the wreck.
Kirkpatrick also has to deliver bad news.
He didn't know that the passenger had passed away, and I had to tell him that.
Back in Union County, the investigation is just starting. It will eventually end. But the afternoon is something those who responded and saw and heard and had to relay will not forget when their shift is over.
Pay attention to what's around you and what's going on. One split second, you can end everything for the rest of your life.
We spoke with Tanisha today. She said she watched last night's story multiple times, and she's amazed at how it's reaching so many people and really thrilled, she said, to be giving people something to think about. And you guys who saw it are giving lots of deserved credit to Tanisha. On Facebook tonight, Todd says, "I made my son watch it with me. He's a new driver, and I wanted it to make an impression." Martha says, "I taped your segment for my two grandsons. The reaction of the mother was chilling. It really makes you think."
And Molly, the father who's trying to make an impression on his son, if you would like to make an impression on your kids or just see this video again, you can.
On
How?
our website,
On the website.
WBTV.com. Last night's entire story is posted there, and a lot of people also posting comments on Facebook and on our website at BTV.com, all really saying how courageous Tanisha is for coming forward and wanting her story out there.
It's quite a powerful story if you've missed it.
Speaking of driving, a story we did in November about a deadly crash continues to make waves tonight. We showed this story to almost 700 students today at South Caldwell High School. I mean, look at that car. That was of no fault of their own. They didn't stand a chance. We said that in the story. They really didn't. The story was about a 19-year-old girl, this girl, who lost her life in an instant. Our cameras happened to be rolling when state troopers broke the news to her mother. Teachers at South Caldwell High School asked producer Brian Stevenson and me to visit their school and present the true dangers of distracted driving to their teens today. It was a good lesson for kids as they go through driver's ed and they practice driving. A really great conversation ensued.
Seeing the faith that the grandma had in God, that touched me.
Whenever I was younger, me and my mom were in a car wreck, and this lady out of nowhere hit the car.
When I think of this video, I think of my uncle died in 2005, 2 days before Christmas, and he was run over by a guy not paying attention.
Well, I have my learner's permit, and my dad always takes my phone away from me when I drive, so I can see why.
And as we told that student, go tell your dad you now understand why he doesn't want you on the phone when you're behind the wheel. A car can be a weapon. And we talked to 14 and 15-year-olds who didn't have their license, and then to a group of 17 and 18-year-olds who did. And the reaction was very different between the two, but they all got it. I mean, you don't have to be any age to understand you can kill someone.
Good age to get that message through to, and you really struck a harmonic chord there.
We were very appreciative South Caldwell asked us to come up. It was a great day.